Hey, welcome to my channel. Um, Today I'm just going to discuss something very, it's not political related, but it's more, or politics related, but kind of dwells in that realm essentially. It's in relation to the remarks made by Don Lemon against Nikki Haley, calling her basically sort of like past her prime. Um, or considered to be, like, and women, that are candidates should be in their, in their prime basically. Some are calling it more of like a sexist remark. um some are calling it ageist, or a bit of both. I honestly think it's maybe a bit of both, but more ageist than sexist, to be quite honest. I mean, yeah, in this day and age, women have to look younger and all that stuff, and etc basically. But the thing is like, it's him calling, it's the pot calling the kettle black basically, in that phrase. Where basically the dude himself is like 56. He's no spring chicken himself. And honestly, the fact is like he's about the same age as her anyways too. Um, so I think I understand what his reference was though to it, to the point where, like, like her spiel, it's not more of her, but her spiel is past her prime. What she's trying to push off essentially. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I'm going with that aspect. I mean, like I said, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. A lot of the cases, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But honestly, the fact that he mentioned it in that tone or in that manner, kind of can see. I mean, I saw it as like, what the hell is that? That's really a well, more of an ageist than a sexist remark, more than anything else that I thought of. Um, but I think it's more of a case of like looking at Lemon himself. Honestly, like the guy, the way he dresses every now and then is more casual. It seems like more and more news anchors, are dressing more casual to relate to the viewers. Honestly, does that really matter? If you want to relate to the viewers, then go into the editorial aspect of things. But this is not a. If you're delivering news, deliver news. I want facts more than anything else. It's like every place I go to, like every show I go on, or every news channel I go, quote unquote news channel that I go on, it's all about adding editorial to the actual facts. Why can't I find something that just delivers me the facts and nothing but the facts, and that's it? That's all I want, just facts. Facts and data. That's all that matters. You can't lie about it. You could manipulate it, yes. You could sort of gear it towards your own viewpoint by, uh, basically, I don't know what the word exactly is, but I don't want to say it aloud, but it's more of a case where, like, you can. I don't want to say manipulate the data. It's hard to manipulate the data, but you can tell a story around the data or a story around the facts to your own viewpoint, and like gear it towards your own viewpoint. But there's also the case where, like, you can abstain certain information, uh, to the point where some information doesn't have to be out there. It's not a lie per se. It's just withholding that vital piece of information or vital fact that can be also beneficial too. So that's one of the things I'm like, I'm always, like, sort of pissed off about nowadays with the news. I mean, CNN at one point was all about just facts, and that was great, and that's what I loved about it. And then Fox News came along, as well as MSNBC, and then they started adding their editorial piece, and then CNN is realizing they were losing their viewership, and they was like, you know what, let's add the editorial aspect of things more than anything else. Honestly, it's nowadays, like, I can understand why people are getting pissed off, like going onto Fox News, going to CNN, going to MSNBC, or any other news network or news network, to get all that information so that they can piece the information together. Honestly, I prefer, like, I wish the AP, the Associated Press, had a news network of their own. Because, like, more often than not, they're just delivering the facts, and that's pretty much it. They're just delivering the facts. They're not delivering any other editorial piece within it, basically, and that's great about that. And so, from that, it's one of those things where I'm like looking at these news anchors, and like now it's becoming more and more casual. I'm like, I'm more and more comfortable. I'm like, honestly, if I want the news, I want the news from people that are, especially if they're male, a suit and tie, a suit and tie. I mean, like, gone are the days almost of those of yesteryear of that information, basically, where you just get that information. A suit and tie. You know, if you're getting information, you're getting facts. You know, you're going to take it seriously. But if it's a person that's coming in with a casual look, like, a sweater, which is not a problem, but like, or a hoodie, which it seems like Don Lemon tried doing one time, which I don't know why he would do it, but for his morning show. But it was more of a case where like you're trying to deliver the news and make it more relatable to the individual or to the audience. Honestly, if I want that, if I want that, then I'll just go to like Rachel Ray or no, well, not Rachel, The View or whatever it may be, one of those talk shows that are out there. If that's what CNN's trying to do, is it seems like all these news networks are trying to blend talk shows with news, and that's one of the things. Like honestly, it's like so hard to like determine that. That's why back in the day, honestly, I was getting all my a lot. I mean, I could see why some of the millennials back then and now Gen Zers are probably getting their information from TikTok, their news from TikTok, from WhatsApp, and etc. And I could see people why they were getting their news from the Daily News. I mean, honestly, there were some aspects with the Daily News. They did show the facts and then, add his, joke piece at that point. But it was based on the facts themselves at that point, too. Um, and people say, oh, well, there's other areas of it, like, with Breitbart or such. Not. No, that's not true. They add their own flavor to it as well, too, to be honest. Like I said, facts can be worked around by creating a certain story around it to push whatever you want. It's a matter of case of like it's like basically data. You give someone raw data, it's based on your judgment how to figure out at that point. But if you give data like let's say the unemployment numbers, if you see it's like at 3.2%, you could say it's like okay, it's at an all-time low of 3.2% compared to like 4 years ago. But then you could say it's at an all-time high compared to 10 years ago. So I mean, it's a matter of perspective at that point, right? So that's where I just would love the data and then like let me make my own conclusions at that point. And it's hard to get that nowadays. Honestly, I could see why people are getting frustrated to the point of like with news. It's not the fact that it's fake news, but it's news in a talk show type of format now that you have editorials applied into it. You have your own commentary, inside the news itself, and that's why it's hard to determine whether. And that's why I could see what people think is like, oh, it's fake news. It's not fake news. It's really just data or facts that are sprinkled on with their own comments to drive their own viewpoint at that point. And that's one thing I'm like, it's kind of hard to determine at that point. I'm that and quite a large number of times, if I have to hear the news, I'll have to go to the local news. At least they are somewhat more factual than these news networks, honestly. And I know I understand it's all about the ratings, all about the ratings, but honestly, it's a matter of like if you get the news and you have breaking news compared to everyone else, then you'll get the viewers themselves as well too. And that's why, like I said, I really wish the AP had their own network. In ways, if they did, that'd be great. I mean, I know they have a YouTube channel, but it's not often that it's like it's like very quick and brief, basically, and like it's like they don't post it up very quickly. They post it up after others post up at their things at that point, which kind of pisses me off a little bit too. Um, but yeah, with that, I mean, honestly, that's just me ranting right now. I mean, these are my opinions, of course. No one else's. I don't represent any organization, company, unit, or whatever that may. It's just my opinion alone. I mean, if you want to disagree, great. If you don't disagree, if you disagree, fine by me too. You're welcome to disagree. But let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment, basically, what you think. Do you think basically the news is straying away from actual facts and now just more being like a talk show centric type of information? And whether it be fact, like whether there be lies put into it, I don't think it's pure lies. It's more of as far as maybe withholding certain pieces of information within the news itself, or the way they gear. Like I said, like as far as unemployment numbers, if it's like I said, 5%, when the numbers come out 5%, you could say, oh yeah, from 3 years ago, it's at its all-time lowest, or from 20 years ago, it's at all-time lowest versus from like last year, which is it's higher than from last year, basically, whatever it may be. It's just a matter of like how you present that data or present that information. That's one of the things where, like for me, I'm one of those guys. Like I said, I love just pure raw data and make my own conclusions and decisions from there. Um, but from that, I mean, like, let me know your thoughts basically in comments in that situation. Like, leave a comment. I do read my comments, of course, and I do respond to them. I would love to engage with some of the commenters about some of this information, like go back and forth to the point of like eventually it could be a video chat between us at that point, and like being on our chat, both our channels if possible. If you have a channel, I'd love to be on a channel with you guys as well too. Like as far as YouTube channels, like being both on our channels to like talk and discuss about it. Same thing as well too is also with that. I also ask is like if you can please subscribe, that'd be great. And from that, I'll just leave it at that. Again, please leave your comments, and I'll leave it at that. Until next time, unfiltered, unedited, and always in my situation, unrehearsed. Until next time.